These are the 5/7 arpeggios you need to play jazz, or for that matter, any style. This first example contains 3 of them, A-7 to start with. We have a root, flat 3rd, perfect 5th, flat 7th. You can use that in lots of different styles. The second one is D7 or D dominant 7th. We've got fingers 2, 1, 4, 2, 4 there. We're playing a root, a major 3rd, perfect 5th, and minor 7th. Very used in R&B, soul and Motown, blues for that matter. And then we have a G major 7th arpeggio. Root, major 3rd, perfect 5th, major 7th. See how that differs from the dominant 7th in only one note? Major 7th, dominant 7th. This is how we can use it in context. The first time round, I just played the arpeggio up in that fingering pattern. There are others which you should know, but let's stick to this for now. Then the D7, this is actually a major 2-5-1 chord progression, a very common one in jazz. This is the D7. Then we have 2 bars of G major 7. The second time round that I played it, I didn't always land on the root note of the chord. And if you want to make your walking bass line sound a little bit more convincing, maybe you would do that, target notes that aren't the root. So there, I'm targeting the F sharp, which is the major 3rd of that D7 chord we're now on. It just gives you a smoother progression between the notes of the line. In this second example, we have the 4th of the 7th arpeggios, which is F sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is a real mouthful to say, otherwise known as half diminished, and that's this. A root, a flat 3rd, there's this flat 5. A flat 7th, the E, octave. The 2 in this minor 2-5-1 progression is a B dominant 7th. We just saw a D7. All you do is you take the shape, you find the B, 2nd fret, A string, and you reel that shape off and you've got it. Now, E is open. So we're going to play this shape here. Once more, played to the backing track just as pure arpeggios, not really making it very musical. That's hitting the root every time. It's all a bit predictable. Try something like this. That was using the idea I mentioned before of not always hitting the root of the next chord. So we had F sharp minor 7 flat 5. I end on an E. The D sharp is the major 3rd of the next arpeggio, the B7. You'll really get to know this the more you understand and familiarize yourself with these chord progressions. So I'll hit that note. And there's the E right there. But this time I'm going from the octave. And that was the other thing I did. Just add a bit more rhythm into things. So at this speed, you've got the swing and the triplet thing. And I'm just playing notes of those arpeggios with a bit more rhythm. You can also use some chromaticism. just approach the root note from a fret either side usually works. That will make you sound a bit more convincing. This is the final must-know 7th arpeggio, and it's a diminished 7th. Each note is separated by a minor third. You can just keep going 3 frets up or a flat third every time, and you can continue that arpeggio. Here's the shape, fingers 3, 1, 4, 2. We have a root, flat third, another flat 5, and a double flat 7. The chord progression in context shows you how important this chord is. It allows composers to link up diatonic chords in a more chromatic way, and you hear it a lot in jazz standards. Here it is without the backing track, and just with all the arpeggios one after another, just almost like an exercise. Now there, I'm playing a couple of those arpeggios in a slightly different way in order not to have to move my hand. And that's the importance of knowing these notes in different patterns. That's maybe a bit much for this lesson, so just next steps would be to follow the link below, download the free PDF, the backing track so you can practice this, learn every single one of those shapes off any note so that you can then transpose this into different keys. So for example, if I just randomly take an E here, I have an E major 7, an E minor 7, an E dominant 7, E minor 7 flat 5, and finally E diminished 7th. You should be able to do that off any single note anywhere. And when you do that, and then you look at any real book and any jazz standard, you'll see these chords happening, and you can start to make bass lines, very simple bass lines, using them. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.